Right now, you have some really nice momentum, and I have an overhead price target at about 215 and 220. But I'll tell traders there is overhead resistance there. So watch out for that level. And if it can break through up above November highs, then it'll really be off to the races.
All right. I can't wait to talk about Caesars. Would you bet on it?
You know, I like this one to the downside. Right here, I think it has another $2, $3 of upside up into about the $50 price point. But the overall downtrend is down, so I would short it up at that level.
Tesla's stock price has been through a series of upward and downward trends recently, especially in the previous year, where several clients and events have caused shares of the car company to drop in value. A stock buyback program for Tesla has been increasingly talked about amongst investors in recent months, especially after Musk teased the idea of a buyback on Tesla's third quarter earnings call last year. And now investors and analysts are eagerly anticipating news on whether the company is going to follow through with this idea, as the stock repurchase could now prove to be incredibly beneficial for the car company. Hey guys, welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow. For most times last year, traditional automakers such as GM and Ford found themselves in contrasting realities to Tesla due to the global chip shortage. GM and Ford were compelled to shut down numerous factories, some for several months, leading to depleted dealer stocks and soaring vehicle prices. However, Tesla achieved record sales every quarter, selling nearly twice the number of vehicles compared to the previous year without being hampered by the industry-wide crisis. But while 2023 seems good for Tesla, judging by the car company's performance in the first quarter of this year, investors have claimed that a share buyback for Tesla may just be a perfect icing on the cake. Tesla CEO Elon Musk sold a lot of his Tesla shares last year to fund Twitter, and this had a serious effect on Tesla's stock price. And now investors are anxious to know whether Tesla's board will follow through on a buyback to help with the stock and helping it to reach its appropriate value once again. This would be the perfect time to make money off Tesla because a stock buyback would nearly guarantee a boost of several orders of magnitude to the stock price. Why is a share buyback important for Tesla right now? Keep watching to find out. But before we start, if you like this type of content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep up to date on everything going on with Tesla. A stock buyback occurs when a company buys back its shares from the marketplace with its own accumulated cash. It's also known as a share repurchase. A stock buyback allows a company to reinvest in itself as the repurchased shares are absorbed by the company, reducing the number of outstanding shares on the market. A buyback benefits shareholders by increasing the percentage of ownership held by each investor and reducing the total number of outstanding shares. Understanding the timing and impact of a stock buyback on a car company's stock is going to provide valuable insight into its financial health and potential future performance, and can help inform investing decisions. In the case of a buyback, the company is concentrating its shareholder value rather than diluting it. Companies benefit from the stock buyback because it can conserve stock prices, consolidate ownership, and take the place of dividends. Similarly, investors can benefit because they receive their capital back. Luckily, Tesla CEO Elon Musk had confirmed plans for a Tesla stock buyback during the automaker's Q3 earnings call last year. Musk said that even if 2023 is a bad year for Tesla, the company can still do a buyback worth $5 to $10 billion. According to him, the board has debated the buyback idea extensively, and it generally agrees that it does make sense to do a buyback, even though they would want to work through the right processes to do it properly. According to Musk, it's likely that Tesla conducts some major buyback, although this is still pending board review and approval. Tesla executives and its CEO Elon Musk must have been under intense pressure from investors and analysts who require them to take action about the company's stock fluctuations. A lot of experts have been talking about the probable benefits of a stock buyback for the firm, and just maybe Tesla could actually consider buying back its shares. Elon Musk has also even remarked that although the market seems to be concentrating on the short term, it's very essential to focus on the long term. Knowing the date of a stock buyback can be advantageous for several reasons. Tesla exceeded expectations in both earnings and revenue following Elon Musk's announcement that the company could produce 2 million cars this year. The car company is already putting up some solid earnings per share numbers, and a buyback would make things even better. There are several reasons why a buyback would be a good idea at this time. First, buybacks can be an indicator of how a company perceives the current market conditions. If a company announces a buyback, it can signal that they believe their stock is undervalued and they are confident in their future prospects. On the other hand, if a company stops or reduces buyback, it can signal that they believe their stock is overvalued and that the market may be in a bubble. Buybacks can also impact the company's stock price, either positively or negatively. If a company buys back a significant amount of its shares, it can reduce the number of shares available in the market and increase earnings per share, which can lead to a higher stock price. Share buyback can be quite beneficial for companies, just as the opposite could be just as disastrous. This is exactly why Tesla stock fell in the middle of 2022. When Musk started selling his own Tesla shares, the stock price fell significantly over a short period. Tesla bull and YouTuber Dave Lee has stated that a buyback of Tesla shares is feasible. According to him, Tesla could produce 10 million vehicles annually, with an operational profit of $15,000 per vehicle. As Lee described, the company would be able to compete with established automakers, and there is a good reason to think that Tesla is now poised to give established automakers a run for their money. According to Dave Lee, Tesla does not have serious expenditure needs and can currently afford to allocate 80 to 90% of its funds to a share buyback. Lee stated that suppose Tesla successfully rolls out its own FSD software and makes about $20,000 to $25,000 operating profit per vehicle, it could raise more than $1 trillion if it sells about 10 million vehicles a year, which will give $250 billion per year for about 4 to 5 years. However, he added that Tesla could possibly reach this milestone if it successfully records increased earnings from its full self-driving technology and its humanoid robot. The Tesla bot is expected to broaden Tesla's mission to not only improve sustainable energy by making electric cars, but also to make AI affordable and accessible. Tesla's ability to procure critical components has wider implications. Beyond its annual car sales figures, it suggests that the company, as well as other emerging EV makers, could pose a more imminent and potent threat to the dominance of industry leaders like Volkswagen and General Motors. Similarly, Leo Kogoan, Tesla's third largest investor, has been advocating for a buyback of shares for several months now. The petition was previously started to request that Tesla buy back some of its shares. The petition was seeking a buyback by the end of 2022, after Tesla had what may have been one of the worst years ever for the car company. It saw shares falling due to Elon Musk purchasing Twitter and the EV company dealing with 19 recalls. In November, the Singaporean billionaire tweeted, claiming that it was the perfect timing for a buyback. In a buyback, prices tend to rise among the many investors who believe that a stock purchase would be a demonstration of confidence in Tesla's future. And these results would restore money to shareholders, and this could be exactly what Tesla needs at this time. It's expected that Tesla will do well in the long run, and for some investors, this is what the car company needs to do in order for them to go all in on the company again. In a previous note, Dan Ives suggested that Tesla and Elon Musk may face heightened pressure from activists and investors in 2023. Despite Tesla's substantial growth in 2022, the stock price plummeted 50%, making it a prime target for activists. Although Tesla stock has done better in recent weeks, almost doubling from the early January lows, several investors are still keen on Tesla having a share buyback, and that could happen this year. Investors may push for Tesla to initiate a stock buyback program and enhance profit margins or pursue strategic moves. Although it is unclear whether Tesla will be buying back its shares, there's no doubt that a share buyback at some point in the future will be huge for Tesla and its investors. What do you think? Let us know down below. And if you want to know more about what Tesla's been up to over the last few days, go ahead and click on this next video on your screen. See you there.